The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a resolution directing President Trump to withdraw U.S. forces from around Iran or win approval from Congress to continue the war. In a sign of growing discontent over the military campaign in the Middle East, 4 Republicans sided with Democrats in the vote. The president has previously dismissed as unconstitutional any effort to limit his war powers. And Mr. Trump has posted on his Truth Social platform calling out the Republicans who back the resolution, describing them as grandstanders and saying they should be ashamed of themselves. Well, shortly before that House resolution, Mr. Trump downplayed recent Iranian attacks on U.S. bases in Kuwait and other Gulf states and insisted a deal could still be finalized as early as this weekend. But the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says no tangible progress has been made. Our correspondent Tom Simons gave us this update from Washington.
Well, this is likely to be a symbolic vote by the House of Representatives. What's happened is that 4 Republicans have voted in favour of this resolution to tell Donald Trump to stop the war in Iran. Now, the problem is that this is not the sort of resolution that is legally binding, and it has to go to the Senate, and there, of course, it might be defeated by the rest of the Republican Party in the Senate. If it was a legally binding agreement or resolution, it would have to go to the president, and of course he would veto it, and then it would go back to both houses of Congress and they would get a chance to vote again, and if they voted 2/3 by majority, then they could overturn the veto. But none of that is going to happen, because this is not that sort of congressional resolution. The other thing to say is that the White House has always said that it is not involved currently in a war. Why is that relevant? Well, under the War Powers Act, or the War Powers Resolution passed in 1973 in the wake of the Vietnam War, the president has 60 days before he has to go to Congress and get permission to continue armed conflict. Now, the White House says that actually the war ended in April when Iran and the US agreed a ceasefire. Now, there may be a whole lot of military forces in the Bay of Hormuz, but as far as Donald Trump's White House is concerned, this is not an active war. And the White House also says that it doesn't believe that this resolution is something that can be used to force legally Donald Trump to hold up what he's doing. And then finally, the White House says you can't tie the president's hands. He has to be flexible, not just for negotiating with Iran. It would be very difficult for the president if Congress suddenly had a power to say that his war had to end, but also because he, or rather the White House,